Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a Q&A, just get to know me really. I done a question box over my Instagram, which is Julianne McStrav, and I'll leave that down below here or somewhere on the screen. So if you want to check that out, you can follow me. And yeah, so I'm just going to answer some of your questions. There was quite a variety of different questions, so I'll answer as many as I can. And if you like it, then you can like and subscribe, and the next video coming will be on how to create this soft glam makeup look. So if you want to continue and get to know me more, then continue watching. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight into it. I have all the questions written down in different pages, just because I'm recording this on my phone, and obviously the questions were on my phone, so I had to write them down. So I'm just going to go straight into it. So one of the first questions was, what's the best product for an even glowy foundation? So for this foundation and this makeup look, I've actually used the Maybelline 24-hour Super Stay foundation. To get an even glowy foundation, what I like to always use is an illuminating primer before I apply any of my makeup. So that's going to create that glowy undertone below your foundation, and it'll basically help your makeup stay all day as well. In terms of a good foundation, I always try and avoid matte foundations, just because if you want that glowy look, then the matte is just going to take that all away. So for this one, I used the 24-hour Super Stay foundation. I didn't use an illuminating primer. What I done was just tried to avoid using as much powders as I could, and I then used the highlighting palette, which is the Be Perfect Mama Mitchell Sub-Zero palette, and that is my all-time favourite because the glow that you get from that is unbelievable. So if you want a really good highlighter, go for that one. Okay, so one of the next questions is, who did you do your makeup course with? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the questions sort of and break them into sections so it's not all muddled up. So obviously this is makeup related. So I completed my 6-week makeup course with Grania Kelly Makeup Academy, and honestly I can't recommend anyone else enough. Grania was the most attentive teacher ever. Honestly, there was about 10 or 11 people in our class, and each person went away feeling like they were seen to, and any questions that they had were answered. And it helped because Grania had a few helpers in the class as well. Obviously one person to 11 people just would have been too hard, so there was a couple of people that helped Grania in the course, and they were the nicest people ever. Like honestly, it would actually make you just want to go back and see them just because they were that nice. So if anyone at all in Northern Ireland is wanting to do a makeup course, please go to Grania, because seriously you come away and like there was so much stuff that I didn't know about makeup before I even went that course. And I've always loved makeup, but the stuff that I learnt and how I learnt it was honestly unbelievable, and I really can't thank Grania enough. She was amazing, so definitely get on to her. She's really underrated as a makeup artist herself. She is honestly unbelievable, and everyone go follow her. I'll link her page somewhere here on the screen so you can go and follow her because she's honestly amazing. Okay, so one of the next questions in relation to makeup is what's your go-to palette? So personally, my go-to palette is the Makeup with Ja Clientele palette by Be Perfect. Honestly, I only got this palette probably about a month ago, and I cannot fault it. It has every single shade that you would need in it to do your colourful looks, to do your soft glams, which is, I literally used that palette to do this whole look today. And yeah, I would just recommend it, especially for makeup artists and stuff. It's perfect to have in your kit because it has more of them neutral shades, and then obviously also your colour as well. So another one of the questions, which is sort of beauty related, is what is your go-to tan? So my go-to tan would have to be white to brown. Honestly, I love the lotion. I'm the type of person that'll go to bed, like put on my tan, go to bed, and then wake up the next morning and wash it off. And what I love about it is that it doesn't transfer. So there's so many tans that will transfer onto your bed clothes or your pillows or whatever, and I'm so fussy about that because I do have cream bedding. So I need to have one that doesn't transfer, and it's honestly amazing. It comes off really well, it doesn't go patchy, it applies really well because it's like a lotion. It's almost like a moisturizer on your skin. So definitely try Bite to Brown if you haven't already. So another one beauty related is waxing or threading. Personally, with my eyebrows, I pluck them. I don't get them waxed or threaded, but I have had all three, like both of them done. So if I had to choose, I would choose waxing, just because it's done in 2 seconds. I don't feel any pain from waxing whatsoever, so I'd prefer to just get it over and done with. I know people hate plucking because it's sore. With eyebrows and stuff, I just don't find anything like that sore. Like, I can just do it and have really good pain threshold. But waxing out of the two. Okay, so one of my friends has asked the question: snog, marry, avoid Leigh Welch, Alan Carr and Graham Norton. So I think I would choose to snog Graham Norton, marry Alan Carr because I think he is hilarious out of like them all, and probably avoid Leigh Welch just because I think he is the most repetitive person. See on X Factor and all, and he constantly says about bands and all this, and he thinks that they're the best ever and they could win the whole thing. It's just so repetitive every single year. Honestly, you could just place him in a wee hologram, put him at the judging panel and replay all his things, all his wee sounds, because he says the same thing every single year. Okay, so one of the other questions then is, who is your 3 favourite go-to YouTubers at the minute? So at the minute, and someone who I have always loved, is Misha Grimes. I think she is so funny, she seems so down to earth and so genuine. And I've always just really liked her videos because they're so just like everyday. She does makeup, she does hair, she does get ready with me, she does all different question and answers, and you honestly feel like you know her through her videos, so I really like that. Then I also love Georgia May, who is actually one of her friends. You think I know their whole life by the way I'm talking, but yeah, I really like them too. And then probably one locally would be Ellie Kelly, just because I think as well that she's really down to earth. I always love her makeups. Just love watching her and stuff on Instagram as well, so they would be my 3 go-to. And then there's also another question on if you had to do a collab with a YouTuber, who would it be? And that one would be Misha Grimes as well, just because, as I say, I really like her and I think she's very similar to me in ways, so I think we would get along really well. Okay, so there's one here saying, what is your funniest childhood memory? To be honest, I have so many funny childhood memories with one of my best friends, Rachel Kearns. Honestly, the amount of times that we were down in Donegal together, and just to think of some of the things that we done, stuff that I probably can't really say, but they were probably my funniest times just because they were my best memories, and without growing up down there I wouldn't have had so many of the memories that I did. Honestly, Rachel and her whole family have made my childhood a really good one. I met Rachel in first year, and literally she was the first person that I met when I went to my secondary school. I did not know one person because I came from a really small primary school, and when I went to my high school then I did not know no one. So Rachel was literally the first person that I met that day, and ever since then we've been like best friends, honestly. Still to this day we are best friends, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So one of the memories from Donegal that I would have to say would be one of the funniest was when we were crossing from her house to go to the beach, and me, her and Mary Beth were crossing through a swamp. So the way we went was you had to cross through a golf course to get onto the beach. So you were walking across the golf course and you came to a bit where there's a swamp. Now I'm 5'9", so I'm really tall and I have big long legs, so it's easier for me to jump over things. So Rachel went first and then me, and then Mary Beth was going to go over and she would be shorter than us, and Mary Beth fell into the swamp. And it was so funny, and see, even still I look back on the photos and it was one of the funniest things ever. Like, still to this day when I think back on it, it makes me laugh so much. So there's so many that I could think of, but that was one of the funniest and one that really stands out when I think about Donegal. So of course this is one of my friends who asked this. So who is your best friend in the whole world? honestly, I am really, really, really blessed to have a small, close friend group. The friends that I have in my wee small friend group are honestly the best that I could ever ask for, and I would not change anything about any of them in the whole world. I am really, really lucky to have such supportive friends that literally are there for me through some of the hardest times and some of the best times of my life. And honestly, really, if you are watching, thank you. Because really, I don't imagine that, you know, anyone would be able to cope without having good friends. And the friends that I have, I feel so lucky. And although it's a small group, I'd prefer it to be like that, because I know that they're always there for me, and I don't need to worry about not counting on them, because I know I can. Okay, so one of the other questions is, what is the proudest moment of your life up until now? So for anyone who's watching this and doesn't know me, I competed in Miss Earth Northern Ireland in 2016, and I won the title, which therefore meant that I needed to go on to represent Northern Ireland internationally at the global pageant of Miss Earth. Winning that was the proudest moment of my life. And when I actually got out there, I placed top 16 out of 90 countries, and that was genuinely the best feeling I have ever felt, and still to this day have ever felt. It was honestly one of the best experiences of my life, and I do have a couple more questions which I'm going to answer, but I want to do a full video on my experience with pageants, because they really have changed my life. But the proudest moment of my life, just to answer that question, would be placing top 16 at Miss Earth. There's honestly no prouder moment that I felt so far. So another pageant related question then is, there's a couple of these similar questions. So how did you get into / start doing pageants? So as I said before, I'm gonna do a proper full video on pageants, because so many people have misconceptions of pageants, and I really would love to just clear that up on how people think of it. But basically, just to give a brief synopsis of how I got into and started pageants, basically my sister, one of my older sisters, Kira, was competed in several pageants. Obviously when I was young, there's 8 years of a difference between us two. So as I was growing up, I was watching her competing in pageants, and it's always something that I wanted to do. So I sort of followed in her footsteps and then competed. So as I say, I'll go into it in more depth, but that's basically a brief reason on how I got into pageants. So another one pageant related is, how do you prepare for the Q&A part in Miss Earth or pageants in general? So basically, competing in a pageant, every single pageant's going to be different. There's completely different systems, completely different organisations, and you really need to find the right one for you. You can't just go into a pageant just thinking that you want the crown or you want the title just because it's a crown or a title. It really doesn't work like that, and you're not really going to do well if you just go into it thinking like that. I was so passionate about Miss Earth and what it stood for. Beauties for a Cause was their sort of logo as such, and they were all about the environment and protecting Mother Earth, which at the end of the day is what the pageant is about. And honestly, I was so passionate about it. So when I went into my interview, I didn't actually, and this is even going for Miss Earth Northern Ireland and Miss Earth internationally, I didn't actually do much preparation, because when you're in a pageant, you don't know what questions that they're going to ask. So realistically, you can't be prepared. The only thing that you can be prepared with is knowing what you want to get across. So with Miss Earth, you have to have your own advocacy. So mine was Change Like It Matters, Appreciate the Earth, and that was an acronym of climate. So I wanted to focus on climate change, because that sort of brought all of the Earth's issues into one category, rather than just focusing on maybe pollution or you know, anything. So that sort of focused on all areas, and that's what I liked about it. So I had so much to talk about. So the one thing that I would say to prepare for an interview is to know what you want to say and know your advocacy inside out. So don't just go into it and, you know, not know anything what you're going to say. Just really, really have an idea of what you want to get across and what you're passionate about, and therefore it'll just roll off your tongue. So one of the last ones then is, are you going to compete in another pageant? To be honest, I'm not going to say no, but at the minute I don't think it's the right time. I'm really, really content with having competed internationally at Miss Earth and placing in the top 16 like I did. As I said in one of the earlier questions, like that was the proudest moment of my life. And I have competed in other systems which personally are not for me, and I know that they're not for me. So if I was to compete in another pageant, I would really want to do research into the actual organisation and see if that would be the right one for me. But at the minute, I don't plan on competing on any more pageants because I'm happy enough with how far I come. Okay, so that's all the questions that I'm going to answer. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and obviously there was quite a few more questions in regards to pageants, but I'm going to leave them and do a proper full video just about pageants and my experience, just because I think so many people are interested in knowing what goes on behind it and have a really different misconception of what pageants do, what they're about. So I'll probably do that as my next video. So I really hope that you have all enjoyed it. Obviously, as I said at the start, this next video is going to be about this makeup look, so I'm going to be doing my soft glam. So if you do want to watch that video, then like and subscribe to my channel, and then you'll get notified on this makeup look which is coming. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.